Hey guys, welcome to this video. So it's been a while since I uploaded any video on math as well as physics. So today I'm starting with a new series called Wizard Concepts of Mathematics. So you would have been wondered like why did I take this small man into my video? Okay, so basically I was a professional player of COC till my class 10th, so I was very much fond of these characters. So especially I've chosen Wizard because uh, this is quite relevant to what I'm gonna teach. Like it's not like I'm gonna teach about him, it's like the relevance, what you find with him. He's a small guy, basically he's very small and he looks attractive, but at the same time people think like he's not so powerful, but the thing is he's very powerful. He has the magic spells, so he's the manufacturer of some magic spells, and as well as he's a fireball manufacturer. So it's like he releases fireballs to attack his enemies, but he's very small and he's like a small fully packed action guy. So too he looks small, like he's a quantity of his body and all is it's quite small, but still is very powerful. So at the same way, my videos will be of very short length, but it would be around 30 minutes or 35 minutes, but whatever the content we have here is very efficient, and it will be quite interesting, and it will be very helpful for your examinations, whether it may be JEE Advanced or any other mathematical Olympiad examinations all around the world. So basically things which we regularly neglect them or we have no idea of them. So I want to teach those levels. Especially I don't teach the common things that we usually find in every book or every video. I only teach the things which we generally have no idea, basically. Yeah, like we think like, oh, is there any concept related to that things, so we'll be wondered basically. So that type of concepts I'm gonna explain here. So let me increase the brightness first. Yeah, so let us start. Basically let me just move on to the next page. Yeah, so basically I'm gonna make what do you mean, what do you say, like it's a combination of various competitive level examinations of mathematics. First thing I would say, it's ISI. Second is CMI, and third is UKET, and fourth is AMC, and fifth is uh, MAT. It's basically conducted by Imperial College London. And sixth one is JEE Advanced. So basically I'm gonna have a combination of all these six important examinations. Okay, so the questions that I'm gonna deal as well as the concepts that I'm gonna explain, everything will be useful for you for preparation for any of these examinations. So I don't say like I'm gonna give you a full hand preparation of every concept and everything that's there for every exam. No, it's not that. It's basically about the things that we usually leave, but that play an important role. So if I just after this video session, you will be knowing that actually what I'm trying to convey, like what type of concepts I'm gonna teach you basically. So you just get a look onto it. After this video you'll realize like what type of concepts that I'm gonna teach in every topic. Like we have nearly 30 to 35 topics in mathematics. So in every topic there is some usual part which we leave behind, like which we have no idea. is that really there, or we have no idea about such concepts. So I'm gonna deal that concept. Like, people don't take it in seriously, like they don't take it as a vital concept. They just think like, yeah, it can be like, what do you say, like it can be done while solving problems. No, like if someone who teaches that, then it would be very much efficient thing to be learned, as well as it will be very very interesting to know the hidden concepts in that thing. So that's my main motto. So let's start to the concept that I'm gonna teach today. The first thing is very basic. So coming to the algebra topic of mathematics. So in that algebra topic, when I go to the starting things, fundamental things, we have the first thing, which is quadratic equations. So let me put the title. Yeah, so the first thing is quadratic equations. So this is the first thing that we usually see basically in the algebra part. So in that, there are many vital concepts which play a main role in examination, but still I feel this one not many teachers teach that. So I chosen this, especially in quadratic equation. I don't deal in any other equations, like you can say for biquadratic even, but I don't go in depth for the triple roots and all. Only the basic thing, which is double root. Okay, so the questions and the concepts of double root is what I'm going to teach in this today in this video. Okay, so double root is many people have no idea of this term called double root. So, and also after explaining this, people will be amazed, oh, there is a significant term to this concept basically. So that's the statement or phrase they get into the mind once I explain this double root. So that's the reason I'm teaching this. And also after teaching this, I'm going to give you one important application of this, which is a very good question based on double root. So you'll be amazed, like solving this problem without knowing the concept of double root, like the application of double root, is quite uneasy, as well as it leads to the wrong answer. So that's the reason I'm teaching you this concept, and also it will be very very useful for you all people. So just focus on what I'm telling you, and just post your comments or doubts, whatever you have regarding this concept, in the comment section below. Okay, so let's start this session. So I'll just start with the black pen. So double root. So let us take equation basically. So let us take an equation. F of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, let us take this equation. F of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. So just take the differentiated part as well. Okay, f dash of x is equal to 2ax plus b. Okay, so double root in the sense, a root which is the I would say f of x and f dash of x both have a common root. Okay, both have a common root. So that means that f of x as well as f dash of x both have a common root. So whatever be the root of f of x, like f of x is a quadratic here, so it may have two roots, and f dash of x is a linear function, so it will have only one root or zero roots. I don't go into the fundamentals again. So it's a basic concept where we have f of x and f dash of x to have a common root basically. So let me take an example of this. Okay, take f of x to be x minus 3 whole square. Okay, x minus 3 whole square. Take the differentiated part, that is f dash of x is nothing but 2 into x minus 3 into 1. So if you find the roots of f of x, you get f of x roots to be 3 comma 3, isn't it? And come to the f dash of x, you find the roots to be 3. root to be 3. So that means that here we find f of x and f dash of x both to have the same root. So let me draw the graph of this. Okay, so if we draw the graph of this, right, and if I mention this point to be 3, okay, so the graph would be in this way. Okay, just ignore these things, like it will be in the symmetric way. So it's just an imperfection in drawing, it's not the actual graph, it's just an accurate thing. Okay, okay, so this way it looks, actually this is an accurate graph of it. So this is the way it looks like. So x minus 3 whole square. So you might find here the two major points that you need to note here is f of x is 0. Okay, f of x is 0 at x is equal to 3. So it is the point where the curve touches the x-axis, or you may say intersect. But here the determinant is 0. So that's the reason it touches the x-axis. So that means it has equal roots. And come to the second point. So let me write the first point, that is f of 3 is equal to 0, right? And second point is, if you find the dy by dx at this point, okay, at this point at x is equal to 3, at x is equal to 3, you find that dy by dx is 0 from the graph. Actually you may see that from the graph you can see that dy by dx is equal to 0. That means f dash of 3 is equal to 0, isn't it? So f dash of 3 is equal to 0. You just find the slope of the curve at x is equal to 3. Okay, find the slope of curve at x is equal to 3. You find that dy by dx is 0. So that means that f dash of x is 0 at x is equal to 3. That means at the 3 point the graph as dy by dx is equal to 0. That means it is where the graph has a concavity change. I would say local maxima, local minima. Like here we have the local minima, or you may say it is the global minima actually. So but the basic point that you need to notice, it is where the curve has a tangent, right? It has the horizontal tangent, as well as it is the point where the curve is intersecting the x-axis. So that means the 3 here is known as the double root. 3 is known as the double root. Okay, so this is the major theory behind the double root basically. So that definition must be clear. Like what is double root actually is, it is the root of both f of x and f dash of x. Okay, and the second main point that we can conclude from this is, second main point that we can conclude from this is that basically in the quadratic equations, only talking about the quadratic equations. Okay guys, only talking about quadratic equations, you find that a root, like there will be a common root for f of x and f dash of x only if det of f of x is 0. Okay, det of f of x is 0. Here f of x is quadratic equation and f dash of x is linear equation, and the det of f of x is 0, then you will find a double root. Okay, so that's the main thing. If the det is not 0, if the det is not 0, we don't find any double root. Okay, we don't find any double root. For example, just take any equation. You can take any equation. Let me clear the page. See, for example, if I take a linear function, okay, x is equal to x minus a is equal to 0. Okay, x minus a is equal to 0, and I want a quadratic equation from this. Like I want a quadratic equation which has a root as a itself. Okay, so I would just make x minus a whole square, isn't it? 0 square. So it's nothing but x square minus 2ax plus a square is equal to 0. So this has the equation roots to be a comma a. And if you have, you can even take like x minus a into x minus b is nothing but 0. Okay, I just multiplied by x minus b on both sides. You get x square minus x of a plus b plus ab is equal to 0. And here you find that the roots to be, if you find the roots here, you find the roots to be x is equal to a plus b plus or minus root over a plus b whole square minus 4ab, isn't it? So a plus b whole square minus 4ab is nothing but a minus b whole square by 2. So you get a plus b plus or minus a minus b by 2. So you get x to be a or b, isn't it? X to be a or b. So, and come to the basic point, we have here x minus a itself. So if I take instead of a, if I take x minus 3 is 0, and if I square multiply by x minus 3 into x minus 2, you get x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. And if I, so by cross-checking this equation, you get x to be 2 or 3 as roots, and when you differentiate it, you get 2x minus 5 is equal to 0, and x is 5 by 2. So you are missing it. So basically you are not getting the same root, you are getting a different root. So that's the reason I told you at the first itself, we don't find any equation whose det is not equal to 0 and having a double root. So if that's a det is not equal to 0, then double root is impossible. Okay, double root is impossible. So double root is impossible. So if the det is not equal to 0, so then the double root is basically impossible. And the before things that I have written x minus a into x minus b, I just wanted to show that you cannot multiply in that fashion. So that's the reason I'm telling you that thing. Like I have made x minus a is equal to 0. So x minus a is equal to 0, and then I multiplied by x minus b on both sides, then I have got x square minus a plus b and that same thing, but basically it doesn't happen in that way. So that's the main thing that I wanted to use to show by taking a numerical example. Like if I take x minus 3 to be 0, and if I multiply this x minus 3 is equal to 0 with x minus 2 on both sides, okay, so then I get x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Then I get the equation then I can get the roots to be x is equal to 2 comma 3, isn't it? Just put the values and you can check or use by a quadratic formula. But when you differentiate that, you get x is equal to 5 by 2, which is not the root of this f of x. So here 2 comma 3 is not the root of f dash of x, as well as x is equal to 5 by 2 is not the root of f of x. So that's the thing that you need to make sure, that det is equal to 0 should be the vital condition for a quadratic to have a double root. Okay guys, so I hope this is clear to you. And the things that I've taken, this one x is equal to a, x minus a into x minus b is equal to 0, I know it's wrong, but for you people to make give an idea of that, I've written in this way. So coming to the next sheet, we have a major problem here. Okay, one of the fantastic problems. So just read the question. Let a be a fixed real number. Consider the equation x plus 2 whole square into x plus 7 whole square plus a is equal to 0, where r is the set of real numbers. For what values of a will the equation have exactly one double root? So just consider f of x to be x plus 2 whole square into x plus 7 whole square plus a. Okay guys, x plus 2 whole square into x plus 7 whole square plus a is equal to, just take this as f of x. Now you can just take f dash of x. Okay, f dash of x, he has mentioned that it is the double root, so definitely go with it. So 2 into x plus 2 into x plus 7 whole square plus 2 into x plus 7 into x plus 2 whole square. Okay, so take 2 into x plus 2 as common, as well as x plus 7 we get 2x plus 7 plus 2 9. Okay, so when we infer this f dash of x, we get x is equal to minus 2 as well as minus 7 as well as minus 9 by 2 as roots of f dash of x. Okay, And now you can see from f of x, if the question basically asked is that for what values of a will the equation have exactly one double root. Okay, so let us try by putting x is equal to -2 basically. So first thing, we'll just choose x is equal to -2. Put x is equal to -2 in f of x. F of -2 is nothing but 0 plus a. And for this to be root, minus to be root, -2 to be a root, a must also be equal to 0, isn't it? Just put x is equal to -2 in f of x, you get 0 plus a. And for this to be a root, this f of -2 should be 0, so that means a should be 0. And at the same fashion, put f of -7 also. Okay, so again you get 0 plus a as a 0 because it must be a root, and then also you get a as a 0. So you can conclude from this thing is that if a is equal to 0, okay, if a is equal to 0, if a is equal to 0, then x is equal to -2 as well as x is equal to -7, both are being the double roots of f of x, isn't it? So you must make sure that this doesn't happen, because in the question he asked us for what values of a will the equation be exactly, will the equation have exactly one double root. So just try for it and go to the next page. I'm going to the next page. So now there's another root that we have got from f dash of x, that is x is equal to -9/2. So let us put this in f of x. Okay, f of -9/2 is nothing but -9/2 -9/2 plus 2 whole square into -9/2 plus 7 whole square plus a, isn't it? So we get -9/2 plus 2 is nothing but -5/2, which is 25/4, and here into -9/2 plus 7, which is nothing but again it's 25/4, so plus a. And for this to be a root, like f of -9 to be should be 0, isn't it? For -9 to be a root of f of x. So that means a plus 625/16 should be 0. So a should be equal to -625/16. Okay guys, so a is equal to -625/16 will be the actual value for f of x, so that f of x and f dash of x will have only one double root, which is -9/2. Okay guys, so that's the reason we have got a to be -625/16. You can just put here. Okay, you can just go to the previous page and you can check here. If a is equal to -625/16 and put x is equal to -9/2, that's what we have done now. So you get that to be 0, as well as we have got from f dash of x that x is equal to -2 is a root, -9/2 is the root of f dash of x. So this is the way that we need to do this. So basically it's double root concept. So the thing that I've explained before this makes you clear to solve this type of problem, so that you don't get stuck in middle. And this is a concept that need not be taught to you, but to get a vital idea and to get an exact reason and definition of why we use double roots and what's the real purpose of it, I have taught all these things. So I hope